Hey, welcome to your practice. Our class is taking us in the direction of a seated shape that requires a decent amount of space in the body. And so a majority of our practice is going to be focused on creating room in our hips and our hamstrings, and then also in our side bodies and shoulders a little bit. If you have sticky hamstrings, blocks are helpful. So if you have a couple of blocks, having them mostly at the front end of your yoga mat for our hamstring extensions could be very helpful. Fingertips are also helpful to bring the earth a little bit closer. We'll start on the back body in Shavasana, and we'll just begin with a little bit of breath connection so that we can arrive to our practice together. And then we'll be moving from Shavasana. If you prefer seated meditation to begin, that's where I'll be. And go ahead and stay here with me, or go ahead and find your way to the earth where we'll be moving from. Yeah. And just take a moment to close your eyes. And as you settle into the shape that you've chosen, into your space, feel the shift of your focus to your breath. Help to shift all of your attention and your focus to this moment right here and now. And as you begin to deepen your breath, feel the deepening of your breath, creating that deeper connection into the present, into your body, to your heart, to your mind, and to your practice. And as you breathe into the earth, feel the earth rise up to receive you, and trust in its support. And trust in the steadiness of the ground below. Allow a wave of grounded energy to wash across your body, taking on that steady quality of the earth. Just taking a couple more slow and steady breaths. As you transition into your practice, allow all clutter, all distractions to fade into the background. Perhaps you make a commitment to yourself and your practice today, as to doing your best as you travel across your yoga mat, staying open in your mind as you create openness in your body. And we'll take one deep breath in together, fill up your lungs all the way to the top. And then when you're ready, an open mouth exhale, release that whole breath away. And then start to seal your lips and breathe through your nose really fully. Ujjayi pranayama. And then eventually we'll find our way into a full body stretch in our back body. So if you're not already there, just take a moment to transition to the earth. And eventually start to reach your hands up and overhead into a full body stretch. Feel all the length from your fingers to your feet. Spread your fingers and your toes wide. Do a couple circles to your ankles, your wrists. And then eventually bring your knees into your body. As you pull your thighs in close, breathe into the space that creates in your low back. And with exhale, extend your left leg forward and take both your hands to interlace on your right shin. Take another inhale here. And then exhale to your supine twist. Let your right knee tip across your body to the left. And let your gaze maybe tip to the right. Finding that full rotation from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. Take 2 breaths. When we come back to center, we'll keep our right knee hugged to our body. Take your right hand to your right shin, and take your left hand to the front of your left hip just to anchor that hip to the earth. And then let your right knee start to open your right knee to the right, away from your armpit. Just take a breath here. Maybe flex your right foot. That might feel a little bit more secure through your right hip and your knee joint. And go ahead and exhale to your figure 4. We're gonna take our right ankle on our left thigh, and you can decide if you place your left foot to the earth or if you'd like to bring that whole figure 4 to your body. You can do this without your hands, or you can reach to the back of your left leg or to the top of your left shin to deepen the stretch. Then flex your right foot. See how it feels to tip a little bit towards the left, then back to center. Maybe one more time, you tip over towards the left. See how that maybe deepens the stretch through your right hip, and back to center. Then go ahead and release your right leg out across the earth and bring your left knee to your left shoulder. Take a breath in. And then let your exhale guide you to your supine twist. Exhale to rinse your left leg across your body and take your gaze over to the left. You find your 2 rounds of breath. And after your second breath, just like we did in the first set, when we come to center, we're going to take left hand to left shin and right hand to the front of our right hip. And once your right hip is secure, flex your left foot, start to open your left knee to the left. You can let it kind of fall away from your left shoulder as well. Take a breath in. And then figure for your left ankle on your right thigh. You can place your right foot to the earth, or you can bring that whole figure 4 to your body. Try to keep the length in your side body as you tip a little bit to the right and back center. And just one more time, tip it to the right. Left knee moving away from you. And then back center. And then from here, we'll start to engage our bellies a little bit. So unwind your legs and just bring your knees towards your chest. And zip your legs tight together like you're squeezing a piece of paper between your legs. Flex your feet and squeeze your legs together so much that maybe you feel your inner thighs light up. Then go ahead and reach your hands up and overhead like a full body stretch. Draw your navel to your spine and start to inhale, lengthen your legs out low. So you can choose how far you extend your legs and how low you go. The key is to feel as much effort through the belly and 0 effort through the low back as possible. And then exhale, slowly start to bend your knees towards your heart. Lift your head and shoulders. Reach your fingertips up and then forward. As your shoulder blades get high, use your core to lift your hips off the earth. And then slow motion, we're gonna inhale, lengthen, open. Send your hands up and overhead. Find that full body extension, reach through your heels. And then exhale, lift your head and shoulders, pull your thighs into your heart. Pull your thighs in super close, lift your hips off the earth using your core. We go again, inhale, lengthen, open, slow. Exhale, draw everything up and in through center, take your time. And 2 more here, inhale, lengthen out. And that pause. And exhale, see how slowly you can draw everything up. Try to relax your neck, head, shoulders, hips high. Good, last one, breathe in, stretch long. And as you're ready, exhale, draw everything up and in. And go ahead and place your feet to the earth for bridge pose. Okay, heels stacked right beneath your knees. Push into your feet and into the backs of your arms. Start to lift through your hips. As you root down into the earth, feel that upward energy through your pelvis. Shoulder blades start to create length from your sternum to your tailbone to your knees. So think about your shoulder blades pressing your heart towards the back of your yoga mat, and think about your knees pulling the lower half of your body forward to the front of your yoga mat. Active through your glutes and your hamstrings. Take a breath in. And go ahead and slowly release your hips down to the earth with your breath out. Then bring your knees into your body and start to find your way forward and back the length of your spine until you make your way up to tabletop pose, all fours. And as you find your tabletop pose, shoulders over wrists, fingers find a natural spread. Go ahead and start with your cow shape. Inhale to lift your heart and lift your tail. And then on your exhalation, start to curl into your cat pose. Head and tailbone drop heavy. Then find a long and neutral spine. Send your left toes to the back of your yoga mat. Reach through your left heel a little bit. Get that stretch through your calf. And then we'll open to the left into a modified side plank. So kickstand your right toes behind you. As you spin the sole of your left foot to the earth, begin to lift your left hand up to the sky. Then extend your left hand overhead for a side body stretch. Root down to the four corners of your left foot as you reach. And then start to reach your left hand to the back of your yoga mat. Engage your belly. And you might need to scoot your left foot a little bit further away, but think about using your left obliques to lift your torso up into this kind of upper body of a warrior two shape. We're going to take our second side body stretch here. So left hand drops low, reach your right hand up and overhead. Feel that energy moving down through your right knee and up and over through your right fingertips. Then breathe both hands to the sky as you inhale. And then take your hands to the earth and in front of your hips. Be on your palms or your fingertips. Walk your hands a little bit further forward. Send your hips a little bit back and then drop your forehead, your heart towards the ground. Keep your left leg extended. All four corners of your left foot rooted and your left leg strong, so hug muscle to bone. You can stay here or walk your hands a little bit to the left at the diagonal. You can stay here or skandasana through your left leg, flex your left toes to the sky. Make sure there's a little softness in your knee, your joints feel healthy. And then start to bring your left foot to the earth. Bring your hands out in front of your hip. Start to lift your heart a little bit. We're going to walk our hands to the top of our yoga mat. As you do so, spin onto the ball mound of your left foot and lift your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog. So right leg high, left toes on the ground. Flex your right foot, keep your leg long, but start to open your right hip and use the strength of your right glute to lift your right foot really high. Bend your right knee, pull your right heel towards your seat, and use the strength of your outer right glute to step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. You can always give it a boost and help it there. So in this long and wide lizard lunge. Come to your fingertips and then let your left knee drop to a hover. And pull your heart forward. Think both knees moving energetically wide. Let your left knee drop to the earth. And start to lengthen out your right leg for this wide half splits. You can walk your hands back if you need to. Maybe some softness through your right knee. Flex your right toes to the sky. And think about lifting through your heart and tail as you plug your right thigh bone into your pelvis. And bend into your right knee and walk your right foot in line with your right hip. Press through your feet and lift through your heart and your hands. And then think about drawing up through your front body. Front ribs pull in, so you get this really deep stretch in the front of your left hip. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Grab your left wrist and tip over to the right side body stretch. And then bring yourself back to center on your inhale. Hands to the earth as you exhale. Lift your back knee and take a really strong step to your forward fold. Pull yourself to the top of your yoga mat. Find some softness in your knees as you fold across your thighs. And from your forward fold, start to inhale to your halfway lift, lengthen out from the crown of your head to your tail. Then exhale, forward fold, dive down again. And next breath in, rise all the way to stand, Urdhva Hastasana. And your exhale, soften your knees, goddess, your arms open to your heart. And breathe in, reach to the sky. And exhale to fold to the earth, soften your knees as you hinge at your hips. Halfway lift, lengthen with your in-breath. And high plank pose, step back as you exhale. And give yourself just one round of breath to be right here. So think about breathing to the back of your body as you inhale. And find that really strong core connection as you exhale. Start to shift forward with your breath in. Knees up or down, we're gonna lower to the earth. So pull your elbows and your shoulders straight back as you lower all the way to your belly. And untuck your toes. Low cobra, lift the back of your heart with your inhale. And then exhale to release. And inhale, low or high cobra. Feel free to lift a little bit taller if that feels good for your body. And then exhale to release. Then inhale to your upward facing dog. This time long arms. Lift your thighs to that stretch across your center. And then downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. And with your in-breath, lift your heels. Exhale, tabletop knees to the earth. Step your right toes to the back of your yoga mat on the ground and reach back with your right heel. And then spin open, modified side plank opening to the long right side of your yoga mat. Reach your right hand to the ceiling. And then reach your right hand overhead for that side body stretch. And start to reach your right hand to the back of your yoga mat. Again, if you need to scoot your right foot a little bit further away, you can. Strong belly, use your right obliques to pull yourself up. Use your tall, your torso, tip into your second side body stretch. Left hand now reaches overhead. Next breath in, reaches both hands to the sky. On your breath out, walk your hands forward. As you dive your heart down to the earth, send your sits bones back in space. Again, keep your right foot rooted and the muscles in your right leg strong. If you want to, you can walk your hands a little bit at the diagonal to the right. Again, you have the option to flex your right toes to the sky like Skandasana legs. Gently root down with your right heel and hug your right heel towards you. And as you bring your sole of your right foot back to the earth, start to lift your heart a little bit. We're going to wander our hands all the way around towards the top of our yoga mat. Spin onto the ball mound of your right foot. Left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Keep your left leg nice and long and start to open your left hip. Stack it over your right hip using the strength of your outer left seat. Bend your heel to your seat, so knees bent, you're like a dog at a fire hydrant. Then use the strength of your left glute to step your left foot to the outside of your left hand, so a big, wide step to the top. Feel free to help it there. Once you lift to your fingertips, dip your right into a hover, pull your heart through. On your right knee, release down, wide half splits, lengthen out your left leg. You can walk your fingertips back or you can keep them where they are. Think about pulling your left toes towards you and your heart forward and through. Untuck your tailbone. Active through your left leg. When you bend into your front knee, wander your left foot to that neutral space so it's in line with your left hip, and then start to lift your heart in your hands. So really active through your lower body here. And again, think about the lifting of the front of your pelvis from your core. Front ribs pull in. All of this is to deepen the stretch in the front of our right hip. That containment's also going to deepen your side body stretch as you grab your right hand and tip over to the left. And then breathe both hands up to the sky on your inhale. And bring your hands to the earth on your exhale. Lift your back knee. Strong step to your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen up halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Then breathe in, rise all the way to stand. On your exhale, goddess your arms, elbows go wide. Reach the ceiling on your in-breath. And fold to the earth on your out-breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, high plank. Follow your inhale forward to your tippy toes. Knees up or down, lower halfway or all the way, chaturanga. Open your heart up, dogger cobra. Big breath in. And downward facing dog. Hips to the sky with your breath out. And take an inhale through your nose. And exhale, let it go. And inhale your right leg up to the ceiling. Flex your foot on your exhale. Keep your leg long and open your hip just like we did before. Find that lift through your right glute strength. And start to shift forward. We're moving to a side plank, opening to the right. So left hand is your base. Vashisthasana, side plank. Reach your right hand to the sky. Now reach your right hand overhead as you look to the top of your yoga mat. Use the strength of your belly. Pull your right knee towards your chest. We're going to take a big step forward with our right foot to a low lunge. You can always help your right foot to the top of your yoga mat if it doesn't quite make it. Now spin your left toe to the earth. Your feet are the roots of a warrior two. We're going to bend our back knee. So bend your left knee, lengthen out your right leg, and flex your right toes to the sky. You might need to walk your hands back a little bit closer. And then think about untucking your tailbone along with your spine. Right heel's pulling towards you. And then left knee will stay bent. Take a quarter turn to the left. So you're in a side lunge with your left knee bent. Or Skandasana, right toes to the sky. Hands can be at your heart or on the earth, wherever you are. And take a breath in. On your exhale, we're moving to the top of our yoga mat, low lunge. So you'll bend into your right knee, turn all 10 toes forward. Strong through your right foot, chair pose. Step into your seat. Strong through your glutes, lift your heart in your hands. And exhale, airplane your arms. Move your right to your left foot, come to your right tippy toe. And then start to flamingo your right heel to your seat. So just find your right heel like a hamstring curl to your right booty. From here, once your left leg's ready, begin to push down and rise up to a one-legged Tadasana with your right leg. Reach to the sky. Now take a moment just to calibrate yourself here. And take your right hand to the front of your right shin. Try to keep your hips nice and square and start to open your right knee to the right. And take one more breath here, active through your glutes. And then tree pose, right foot to the inside of your left leg, above or below your knee joint. You might bring your hands to your heart and press your right foot into your left leg and your left leg into your right foot. Take a breath here as you grow up and out of your pelvis. And we're going to go into airplane pose, so as you square your right hip, slowly send your right leg back in space. Take a full breath in. Make crescent lunge, right toes to the earth as you exhale. Inhale, lift your heart in your hands. And then goddess your arms on your breath out. Reach your hands to the ceiling with your inhale. Then go ahead and bring your hands down to the earth on your exhale. As you plant through your palms, lift your left leg to the sky. Three-legged dog, big breath in. Left leg stays long, open your hip. And then use the strength of your seat to lift your left foot tall. Pull your navel to your spine to challenge your left glute even more. We'll shift forward, side plank to open to the left. So right hand is your base, lift your left hand to the sky. And then go ahead and reach your left hand overhead like a full side body stretch. Look to the top of your yoga mat. Pull your left knee towards your chest and step your left foot to the top for a low lunge. Again, you can help it there. Spin your right heel down so your feet are like the feet of your warrior two posture. As you bend your right knee, your back knee, lengthen out your left leg and flex your left toes to the sky. Remember, your hands can walk back with you. Think about active left leg, so hug muscle to bone, and then try to lengthen out your spine too. Now your right knee is going to stay bent. We're taking a quarter turn to the right, so you're in a side lunge or skandasana, facing the long right edge of your yoga mat. So side lunge or skandasana, left toes are to the sky. Take your breath in. And low lunge to the top of your yoga mat, spin all the way forward. Left leg pulls you to your chair pose, Utkatasana. And then take your breath in. And as you're ready, airplane your arms, breath out. Shift your weight to your right foot, come to left tippy toe. And eventually flamingo your left heel to your seat. We'll rise up together, one-legged Tadasana, no rush. Start to grow tall with your left leg and reach your hands to the sky. Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to take your left hand to the front of your left shin. Up. And then just slow motion, bring your left knee open to the left. Think about using the strength of your glutes, not only to keep your hips square, but also to open your hip. Head to your tree pose, place your left foot on your right leg above or below your knee joint. Hands will find your heart center. And really push foot and leg together. Take one more breath. And as you bring your left knee back to square, airplane pose, be flat. Think about the energy that reaches through your fingertips as an upward energy to stay buoyant through your heart. Feel the length reach through your spine, and then place your left toes down for crescent lunge. Deep breath in, reach your fingertips to the sky. And exhale, goddess, your arms open your heart. Inhale, stretch tall. And exhale, your hands down to the earth. Then lift your right leg to the sky, three-legged dog again, big breath in. This time bend your knee and open your hip. Stay or wild thing, so option to step your right toes lightly behind you. Your left leg will stay long on your right tippy toes. Feel your shoulder blades help lift your heart. Reach your right hand overhead. Now look to the top of your yoga mat. Engage your belly. You're going to step your right foot forward to your low lunge. And then you can always help your foot there if you need to. Spin your left heel down so your feet are like warrior 2 feet. And bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot. And lift your left hand up so you're in this deep side angle pose. Reach your left hand overhead, extending your side angle with your breath in. Head to a side lunge or skandasana, bend into your left knee. Either skandasana or a side lunge. Good. And we're going to take that 2 more times. So you're headed to your side angle pose. As can be as fluid as you want. Then into your side lunge or Skandasana. And one more time, make your way to your side angle pose. Then go ahead and find your way to your side lunge or Skandasana. Take a breath in here. And exhale into your side angle pose. And then up into warrior two. Lift yourself up tall to Virabhadrasana two. With an inhale, reverse your warrior just one time, right hand to the sky, open through your side body. Exhale, side angle pose. Then reverse your triangle, lengthen up and away. Right leg long, right hand high. And then go ahead and find your wide-legged forward fold. Turn all 10 toes to the long left edge of your yoga mat and dive down. With your next breath in, take a halfway lift. And exhale rotates us to the right, to the top of our yoga mat. Chair pose. Find your strong seat again. Hips low, lift your heart and hands. We'll airplane our arms and we'll flamingo our right heel to our seat. Go ahead and rise up with your right leg to stand. So you have a couple options this time. You can take your right hand to your right shin again, or you can take second and third fingers of your right hand to your right big toe. With your right knee bent, or your right leg long, or moving towards extension, we're going to start to open our right leg to the right again. Then you can have your leg long. Even if you have your hands on your big toe, you can have your knee bent as you open up. Left hand can be on your left hip or to the sky. Whatever works for stability. Could be out in line with your left shoulder. Then go ahead and bring yourself back to center. If you want to lengthen your right leg out from here, now you can, both hands to the sky. Airplane pose. Unless you want warrior three, feel free to reach your hands out in front of you. Feel your upper back engage. And our crescent lunge steps our right toes to the earth. Deep breath in, reach to the sky. And exhale your hands down to your yoga mat. Lift your left leg to the ceiling as you're ready. Three-legged dog breath in. Bend your knee and open your hip on your out breath. Headed to Lyo thing if you would like. Step your left toes behind you. Lift open through your heart. Look over to the top of your yoga mat. Start to engage your belly and then step your left foot to the top. Think left knee to your heart and a big step forward. Spin your right heel to the earth so you have the feet of your warrior two. As you bring your left hand on the inside of your left foot, take your right hand to the sky, so you're in this deep side angle pose. Extend your right hand overhead for your extended side angle breath in. Moving to Skandasana, our side lunge, you'll bend into your right knee, either all 10 toes to the long edge or left toes to the sky. Then back to your side angle pose, bend into your left knee, reach your right hand to the sky. Again, to Skandasana, bend into your right knee. This could also be side lunge. And into side angle. One more time to get to Skandasana when you're ready. And then we're going to go into our side angle pose and up to warrior two. When you're ready, reverse your warrior breath in. Just one time, side angle pose with your breath out. Reverse your triangle, lengthen up and away. And then wide-legged forward fold, all 10 toes turn forward, dive down. Take one breath here. Think inner thighs are spiraling in and back. We'll start to find our half lift, and we're going to rotate to our left, low lunge to the top of our yoga mat. Take a big step forward into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Find your breath in. And then airplane your arms as you breathe out. Go ahead and flamingo your left heel to your seat. Once your right leg is ready for you, push down to rise up with your left leg. Hands to the sky. And you can decide to take your left hand to your left shin, do the same thing that we did before, or you can reach down the inside of your left leg to grab your left big toe. Whether your knee is bent as you open, or whether you lengthen your left leg out and then open, feeling the connection to the center line of your body. Think about using your seats to help stabilize you. Breathe steady. And you start to bring it back to center. If you want to extend your left leg and it's not already, you can. Take a breath in. Remember, we're going to warrior 3 or airplane pose, so either one. If you choose to be in warrior 3, use your upper back to lift your hands. Step back into your crescent lunge, left toes find the earth, inhale to the top, and exhale your hands down to your yoga mat. Step back into your downward facing dog, so both feet to downward dog. Take a big breath in, lift your heels. On your exhale, tabletop pose, knees to the earth. Hips high, walk your hands forward, melt your heart down to your yoga mat. Breathe into the back of your body. You can be on your fingertips or you can be on your palms, it's up to you. Go ahead and push down with your hands. Walk your hands back into your tabletop pose. We have one more little layer we're going to take before we move into that seated peak pose that we're headed towards. So go ahead and reset with an inhale to your cow shape. Lift your heart and your tail. And then exhale to your cat spine. Find a neutral spine when you're ready. Tuck your toes and send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And with an inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. On your exhale, bend your knee and open your head. Breathe in, 3-legged dog. And exhale your right foot to the top of your yoga mat. And go ahead and lean your weight to your right foot, standing splits. Lift your left leg to the sky. And then start to bend your knee and open your hip like we've been doing. Good. You're gonna take 2 different options here. So you can have softness in your right knee if you need. One option is to reach your right hand for your left foot. Yeah. One option is to walk your left finger just probably a little bit wider, then reach your right hand on the inside of your right leg. Just reaching your fingertips to the back of your yoga mat. Gently press your right arm into your right leg. And then go ahead and unwind. Start to step your left foot to the outside left edge of your yoga mat and your right foot to the right edge for Malasana squat. Turn your toes out, sink your booty low. And then for today, lift up like 2 inches from your deepest Malasana. Use your glutes to open your knees wide and try to lean your heart high and lean your shoulders back a little bit. Use your glute strength to push into your heels. Imagining gravity is really, really heavy today. We're going to press into our heels. We're going to rise up to stand super slow to the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lengthen up. Reach your hands to the sky with your inhale. Turn your toes forward, keeping your legs wide. Soften your knees and hinge back. Reach your sits bones way back, your hands way forward. Into your forward fold. Take a half lift as you breathe in. And step your right foot to the back of your yoga mat. Left foot stays wide, spin your right heel to the earth. And then walk your left shoulder underneath your left leg as much as possible. And bending into your left knee. If you want to, you set out your hips, you can reach your arms up like airplane arms. You can also find a bind here. Okay. And then go ahead and bring your hands to the earth. The inside of your left leg, lift your heart. As you plant your palms down and unhook your right heel, left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend your knee and open through your hip. And step your left foot to the top of your yoga mat. Standing splits right leg to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. So again, you have options here. So either left hand can reach for your right foot for the bind. Use your right glute to widen your hip points and lift your right knee. Or you just keep your right heel hugged in and you reach your left arm to the inside of your left leg to the back of your yoga mat. Then gently press your left arm into your left shin bone. And then when you're ready, you're gonna start to release. Start to step into Malasana squat. So bend your knees, step your feet out wide. It might be a little bit of a wider Malasana squat since we're gonna stay a little bit higher as well. Yeah, high through your heart. Well, and in your Malasana squat, again, think about using your glutes to open your knees. And then push down through your heels. High through your heart. Resisting the weight of gravity, slowly start to press into your heels to rise up for 5. Knees stay wide for 4. Shoulders stacked for 3, 2, and 1. Reach your hands to the sky with your inhale. Toes turn forward, feet stay wide. On your exhale, bend your knees. Hand your hips back as you reach forward and then down into your forward fold. Take a halfway lift. Step your left foot to the back of your yoga mat. Right foot is still wide. Spin your left heel to the earth. Yeah. Now, you need to walk your feet and adjust them a little bit. You can. We're going to start to dive our right arm underneath our right leg any amount. Good. You might just be able to get like your elbow underneath. That's all good. You might be able to get more of your shoulder, maybe bend into your right knee more if you've got that. And then you can spread your wings. You can also work for a bind. Let your hands find the earth on the inside of your right foot. You unhook your back heel, step back just to downward facing dog, both feet on the floor. Take a big breath in, lift your heels high. This time as you exhale, bend your knees and then step or hop to the top forward fold. Take a little half lift when you get there. And then bend your knees and have a seat. Okay. So our shape that we're moving towards is compass pose. And so I want to begin in a cross-legged seat. And we'll move through it just step by step together. And if you find as we go that that is maybe a stopping point for your body today, just pause there, breathe there, work there, and exit when you're ready, okay? So let's start with our right shin in front. Just find a cross-legged seat. Maybe untuck the booty a little bit. So you can really feel your sits bones on the earth, kind of that forward pelvic tilt that gives you a really tall spine. Reach your hands to the sky on your inhale. And then go ahead and lean your right hand to the earth, reach your left hand overhead. Press your right hand down into the ground and away from your body to help root your left sitting bone into your yoga mat. And then lean your left shoulder back. If you want to, you can take your left hand behind your head. You can lean your head into your hand, kind of press your head into your hand. And as you take your elbow back in space, imagine your shoulder blade pressing your heart forward a little bit. And then just slowly start to stack up tall through your torso. Release your hands. Start to pick up your right leg. You're going to take your left hand to the sole of your right foot. Your right arm is going to kind of cradle your right leg here. If you have a little more space in your body, you can take your right foot to the seam of your left elbow, that kind of like crooked your elbow. Flex your foot here and cradle. If you have space in your body, if it feels okay, you can bring your right elbow on the inside of your right knee to help widen it, but make sure that feels healthy for your joints. Your right foot is active, tall through your torso here. Just gonna check in, see how much space you have this might be where you stay today. Take your right hand and dive it in between this kind of like circle that you got going, and reach your right fingertips out to this side. So this is where your right hand is going to return to in a moment. Yeah? Now take your right hand and start to hike your right knee behind your right shoulder. So it might just be your tricep. You might be able to get a little bit further back. So similar to what we were just doing in our lunge. So right leg is like a backpack strap. Now take your right fingertips out to the side again. Flip the grip of your left hand. So your left palm is on the top of your right foot. You're grabbing the outside edge of your foot. Flex your foot. Maybe start to lengthen your right leg out any amount, and then peek underneath your left armpit. Pull your heart through. You're in your compass pose. Your right leg might not go towards full extension, maybe it can. And one side's gonna feel probably very different than the other. When you're ready to release, bend your right knee, unwind your upper body, land your right foot to the earth, sit up tall through your spine. Inhale, circle seat to the sky. And exhale, goddess your arms. Let your hands just fall to the earth beside you. Cross your left shin in front of your right if it's not already. And then go ahead and reach high on your breath in. Left hand low, right hand side bends overhead as you breathe out. Breathe into your right side body as you anchor your right sitting bone to the earth. Maybe right hand behind your head. Lean your head back, trying to get the space to your shoulder. Think right elbow is moving back in space, and your shoulder blade is pressing your heart slightly forward in space. If it's sticky, that's pretty normal. And then start to sit up tall through your torso, release your right hand to the earth. And as you go ahead and reach for your left leg, again, you can take your right hand to the sole of your foot and hug your left leg with your left arm, and just kind of work your leg here. You have this space, arch to elbow, left elbow on the inside or the outside of your left leg. Try to stay tall through your torso. You can find a little bit of movement here. And then just for a little bit more room, take your right hand back to the sole of your left foot and dive your left hand underneath and plant it to the earth. And just remind this left arm, this left hand, where it is going. Yeah. From here, use your left hand to like work your leg behind your shoulder any amount. You'll probably find a little bit of rounding here. That's okay. Right? Eventually moving for a really tall spine. Now, once you have your left leg as far behind your left shoulder as you can get it, re-extend your left arm out to this side. Flip the grip of your right hand and start to lengthen out your left leg. Maybe pull your heart through that window, turning your heart to the right as you peek around your armpit. Think about your left leg and your right elbow moving back in space. Think about your shoulder blades pressing your heart through. And when you are ready to let it go, you're going to slowly start to release. Take your time, go really, really slow so your body can adjust along the way. A nice tall spine, and then lean back and wind your legs and place your feet to the earth, knees bent. Fingertips face your seat. Just start with a couple windshield wipers through your knees. And then you can stay with the windshield wipers or press through your feet, lift your heart, or find a reverse tabletop, lifting your hips. Head can fall back. So bring your booty to the ground, head last to lift, and then if you're not at the top of your yoga mat, go ahead and just find your way to the top of your yoga mat. We're gonna flex our feet into the earth, heel anchors, and then Using the strength of your core, drive your heels into the ground and hug your heels against the resistance of the earth using your belly strength towards your body. Reach your hands out to the ceiling on your inhale and lean back like 1/3 of the way, or just to like a really sweet spot for your core. You need to hug your heels a little bit closer. You can feel your belly light up. Continue to drive your heels into the earth and pull your heart through your biceps. Take a breath in. Exhale, rotate over to the left. Press into the earth with your left heel using your left obliques, your left side core. And then inhale to your center. And exhale, second side. Drive your right heel into the earth using your right obliques. And then inhale back to center. As you exhale, lower to a low boat. So once the small of your low back finds the earth, float your legs. You can have some softness in your knees. You can also have your feet on the earth. Take an inhale. Exhale, rotate to the left. Stay here, reach your left hand towards the back of your yoga mat. Then inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Stay or reach your right hand to the back of your yoga mat. Then inhale through your center and exhale, knees to chest, release and relax. Take a breath through your nose. And exhale, let it go. Oh, please eagle wrap your right thigh over your left. Just a single stack is fine. Bend your left foot to the earth and use your left foot to scooch your hips to the right a little bit. And then drop your knees over to the left, eagle leg twist. And then adjust as much as you need to and find 3 cycles of breath. Start to bring yourself back to center. Unwind your legs. Take a couple windshield wipers from side to side. And then we'll take second side eagle leg twist. So eventually left thigh stacks over your right. Scoot your hips a little bit to the left and let your knees fall over to the right. As you breathe into the left side of your body, just let yourself be held by the earth. Feeling that steady support below again. And when you come back to center this next time, now unwind your legs. You have a couple options. So you can either move to a final inversion, a final heart opener, or one of each. So I'm gonna go through kind of the bridge foundation options first. So falling bridge is where you keep your hips as is on the earth and knock your knees together, toes maybe turn in, heels wide. That's a really subtle low back release. Option 2 would be your bridge pose, lifting through your hips like we did at the beginning of class. From here, you could also go to wheel pose. We didn't do a ton of back bending, but our side body opening and the hip opening that we did might make it so that your body feels ready to go there. So feel free to go to your wheel pose, your upward facing ball. For inversions, you would send your legs up to the sky maybe, or legs up a wall. You could also lift your hips into shoulder stand. Or you can take your feet over you into your plow pose. So whatever feels best for your body. We'll take about 5 cycles of breath. And then we're going to make our way into Shavasana from there. So find 5 cycles of breath your shape of choice. And then on your way to Shavasana, if it feels natural to pause knees to chest, you can, or to take a happy baby or a Supta Baddha Konasana along the way. Feel free to add in any of these shapes. And eventually you'll send your legs out long. Maybe take one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Or perhaps you let your hands rest beside you on the earth, palms face up or palms face down. Just take a couple moments to settle into the natural cadence of your breath, just letting your breath flow organically through your body, allowing yourself to flow with your breath as it moves in and out in a steady, natural way. And as you release all effort, all control from your breath, also release any lingering tension, tightness, or effort in your body. Feel yourself held by the earth, held by your practice. And just give yourself these last few minutes as an opportunity to practice being in your body, and being exactly as you are. And gently start to expand your breath again. Feeling the fullness of each breath in and the steadiness of every breath out. And as your breath deepens throughout your body, if you're ready to bring some movement back into your body too, perhaps you start by reawakening your fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. And if it would feel good, breathe in and reach your hands up and overhead, find a full body stretch. And as you breathe out, let your hands arrive at your heart. In this final pause, we just take a moment to acknowledge the time, the intention, and the energy that you offered your practice today. So honoring that time, intention, and energy, as well as the ancient roots of the practice itself. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose together. And clearing, exhale, release. May yoga offer us a path to compassion. May our practices serve as our teachers, our guides, in living more authentically, loving more deeply, and seeing more clearly each and every day. Thank you so much for moving with me, breathing with me. Namaste.